Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? Today we're going to talk about 7 different ingredients to the recipe of having a great relationship with your kids. Our children are just so important and so important to our future. And y'all, who's going to take care of us, y'all? We got to raise these chillins up right. Okay, so I thought for each ingredient I'd film from a different part of the house. So I'm in my living room. Okay, ingredient number 1. Be the example to your kids that you want your kids to be. Now, y'all know back in the day, our parents would say, do as I say and not as I do. Or we would get the I'm grown. You know, parents didn't believe in giving you no kind of explanation for what they said or what they did. But that's not going to work for this newer generation. They have questions and they want answers. And just that do as I say and not as I do, that does not work because today's children really look at us, their parents, and other adults as hypocrites. I'm just telling you, I've got friends that work with closely with juveniles, and especially juveniles in trouble and in crisis. And that's one of their main complaints is that they think that their parents or adults are hypocrites because it's do as I say but not as I do, because they have very few examples and role models of what we are telling them to do and to be like. So we have to be the example. Now, if you don't want your kids to grow up using profanity, you can't use profanity around your kids and say, well, I'm grown. If you don't want your ladies, if you don't want your daughter to be a hoe, yeah, there might be some strong language from First Lady, but I keeps it real. If you don't want your daughter to be a hoe, you can't be a hoe around your daughter or in front of your daughter. You can't have Tom, Dick, Harry, and Harriet in and out of your house. And by the time your child is 15 years old, he or she done had about 6 different uncles or daddies. But yet, you want her to grow up to be a wholesome young lady or him to grow up to be a wholesome young man. It does not work like that. So you have to be the positive example and role model to your kids that you want your kids to be. This is what greets me when I walk in. I have a book of the first family sitting on my table, and that's the mirror that's right above it. So ingredient number 2 is communication. In order to ensure a great relationship with your children, you have to have communication. And parents, I got a little secret to tell you. Communication is not just you talking to them or talking at them. Communication is both speaking and listening with understanding, where both parties are getting a good understanding, as my mom often likes to say. If your children feel like they cannot come to you about certain topics, then you are not going to have a great relationship with your kids. So your kids have when your kids come to you about some of the smallest things to the biggest things, you can't cut them down because that's something simple. That's something silly. Because if they can't come to you about the simple stuff, the silly stuff, the insignificant stuff, then they're definitely not going to come to you about the bigger issues in their life. Okay, now I'm in my spare bedroom. Well, actually, it's Derica's bedroom / Danica, Miss Nappy's bedroom. When she's here, I just love this picture window. I would show y'all the bedroom, but somebody, Miss Nappy, Danica D. Hill, spent the night and left it a mess. No, I'm just kidding. She did stay here. She did leave it a mess, but we all good. Anyways, ingredient number 3. We are not our children's friends. Parents, oh my God, if we can get, you know when you're making a cake, and what is a cake without the sugar? This is the sugar in the cake, in the recipe. We are not our children's friends. Now, if you happen to become your child's friend as a byproduct of making the cake, so to speak, then that's awesome. my daughter and I are great friends, and I thank God for it. I mean, I just talked to her this morning. Oh, I miss her. She's in California. But anyway, shout out to Xavier University, Sweet 16. Anyways, so yes, my daughter and I are great friends, and I thank God for it. But that was not my intention. We are not our children's friends. We don't party with our children. We don't do drugs with our children. We don't go looking for guys with our children. We don't communicate with our children on a friend's level. Children need guidance and discipline and love. I would say those are the three things that children need most: guidance, discipline, and love. And if you all become great friends later on in life because of those ingredients, that's awesome. But please do not try to be your children's friend. Okay, y'all, ingredient number 4. Well, before I go there, I'm in my other spare bedroom. And I would show you this one too, but it's also a mess because we had another guest. We had 2 guests last night. So we had another guest in here last night because, you know, this is truly the blessed place. And I love it. Ingredient number 4. The mind. Terrible thing to waste. Oh, have fun with your kids. Have fun with your kids. Enjoy your kids. Parenting is a lot of work, but it doesn't have to be all about the work. Work hard, play hard. Enjoy your kids. Take them to the beach. Take them to see Mickey Mouse. Take them, even if you don't have money, because you know those things can be expensive. You know you can have fun playing in the dirt. I mean, you can go outside and cut on your water hose and spray your kids down in the water. And honey, you can't tell them children they ain't at Wet and Wild somewhere. It's like, it's not all about the money. It's all about having fun, enjoying your kids, laugh, you know, watch movies, whatever it takes, whatever your budget can afford. But believe people, I cannot stress this enough, that you don't need a whole lot of money for kids to be happy. And I would say that's the one mistake. I mean, not like I made one. I made many. So I hope that don't come out wrong. I made many mistakes. But that was one of the biggest that I made, is that I worked a lot and I worked hard to take care of me and my daughter as a single mother. And I wanted the best for her. And not just her. I ain't gonna lie. I like good, nice things. And I wanted the best for me. So my daughter and I have gone on cruises. I think she only went on one. I've gone on several. She wore the best. You know, we live in a nice house. Just, you know, but I'm telling y'all, if I could change some things, I can remember my daughter being about 13 or 14 and telling me, Mama, if we ate home more often, you wouldn't have to work so hard. Oh my God. Ingredient number 5. Let your kids be who they are. Don't try to change the essence of who they are. Of course, as parents, it is our responsibility to guide our children, but guidance does not mean making them be who you want them to be. A lot of times, as parents, we are so guilty of living vicariously through our kids. If we wanted to be a model, we try to make our children a supermodel. If we wanted to play basketball, we try to get our kids in the NBA or the WNBA. If we wanted to be a doctor, we try to make our kids doctors. When our kids want to draw, you know, or you trying to make your son a football player and he can't bit more catch a ball. You know, so let your kids be who they are authentically. Okay, sitting on my chocolate brown couch in my den. And for ingredient number 6, instilling good moral values in your kids. This is where you teach kids about having a positive, close relationship with God. And what's key about ingredient number 6 is when you teach kids from very young that mama or daddy can't have their eyes on you 24/7, but God knows all and sees all, and God reveals to mommy and daddy what you're doing when my eyes are not on you, believe me, that works. That works. But not just that, but also to giving your children a moral compass. If there is no God in your child's life, your child is devoid of a moral compass, of a sense of what's right and what's wrong. Okay, y'all. Ingredient number 7. This cake is almost done. I'm standing in my kitchen. Y'all see I'm taller than the refrigerator. Ingredient number 7. Be one of your child's heroes. And also be your child's biggest fan. I mean, let's raise the level of expectation for our kids. And then be their biggest cheerleader to help them achieve those goals, and reach those expectations. I hope that these ingredients to the recipe of a great relationship with your kid will be a blessing to you, because children are truly a blessing.